Well, after heartbreak, look for the rebound. Liverpool's romantic attachment to Istanbul was quashed by a poor display on a poor pitch in midweek. There was something a little bit familiar about Manchester City's demise too. As far as Europe are concerned, Liverpool have been dumped, and Manchester City know that their relationship is coming to an end. They are just waiting to be put out of their misery. So attention turns back to affairs closer to home. Liverpool chasing a place in the top 4, and a stunning run of 10 Premier League games without defeat has helped them underscore those ambitions. Manchester City have dropped points in 4 of their last 6 Premier League matches, and despite a difficult midweek, they have the chance to close the gap at the top to 2 points on Chelsea. Michael Gray is with me. How significant is that short turnaround time for Liverpool, landing back at 4 a.m. on Friday morning and kicking off here at midday?
Well, an interesting thing that you said beforehand, Sam, was about Liverpool wanting to get back and train on their pitch, but obviously we see the state of it not being very green. There's a lot of muddy or sandy areas, if you want to put it that way. But yeah, the importance of rest, recuperation, as probably fitness coaches and managers alike will probably say to their players. As soon as they landed back in Liverpool, it was a pretty much just get yourselves back home. And they've got the people there now behind the scenes who can look after the players. I think, I was actually watching very closely. I was watching the warm-up from Liverpool, and they look very sharp. The little small-sided area that they have, the players wanting to get on the ball, the movement looked really good. But I think when you've got Manchester City coming to your home ground, that says it all for me. If you can't get yourself up for a game like this, then you shouldn't be crossing that white line. You shouldn't be going out there and playing this football match. They'll be ready for this, Sam. There's no question about that. But as will Man City. They've had the disappointment themselves. Yes, they played at home. They played against Barcelona, and for 45 minutes they got the runaround. Second half they came out and they gave us something. Raised my eyebrows because I didn't think they had it in them after what I'd seen. But this is totally different. It's about trying to get to that top spot, staying on the coattails of Chelsea, getting 2 points behind them. That's what their impetus is today. That's what the manager will have drilled into the players. So you've got two sides out there vying to get in that top 4. Man City obviously trying to get to that top spot as well. And I just think it's set for a cracking game.
Well, Liverpool, who kick off around 55 hours after landing back from Turkey, make 4 changes from their defeat in Istanbul. Markovic, Henderson, Coutinho and Lallana coming back into the side. Mignolet is the goalkeeper. Chan, Skrtel and Lovren the back 3. There's still no Steven Gerrard because of a hamstring injury that's kept him out for the last 4 games. Markovic, Henderson, Allen and Moreno are selected in midfield, with Coutinho and Lallana at the top of the box. And Sterling is the lone striker. Been involved in 11 Premier League goals this season, Raheem Sterling. 5 assists and 6 strikes himself. He played the whole 120 minutes on Thursday night. Manchester City have 2 days extra rest, and that could be key. They alter 4 from the team that lost on Tuesday against Barcelona. It's Hart in goal, Zabaleta, Kompany, Dimichelis and Kolarov, Silva, Yaya Toure, Fernandinho and Nasri, and Dzeko and Aguero up front. Our referee is Mark Clattenburg. And continental conquests aren't everything. Sometimes what you need is just around the corner. It's the first of 3 live commentaries, back to back to back. It's Liverpool, it's Manchester City, and it is only on TalkSport. The 2 teams standing in front of us, ready, prepared, and dressed for action. It's Liverpool in red shirts, red shorts and red socks who get us off and underway, shooting from left to right towards the Anfield Road end in the first half, and Manchester City all in light blue, shooting from right to left, hoping that they can close the gap on Chelsea at the top of the Barclays Premier League table. We've got Everton still to come against Arsenal and the Capital One Cup final, but we focus on events in Merseyside first of all. Here's Sterling down the left-hand side, Liverpool on the front foot trying to attack the goal away to our right, looking for Lallana, who's starting in the team, I think for the first time actually in the Premier League since his injury. And then it's guided all the way back towards the far side, and Moreno then into Joe Allen, who I must admit when they were warming up just now I mistook for one of the mascots, such as his slight stature, but he was effective in the heart of that midfield on Thursday night. He was playing alongside Emre Can, and despite the fact that they got overrun a little bit, he had to work incredibly hard, Joe Allen. I just think they just were outnumbered against Besiktas. Here is Yaya Toure back into Fernandinho. Liverpool hope to outnumber Manchester City in that midfield area today, but it's City who have the ball. On the far side, the City right, deep inside Liverpool territory with Silva cutting infield, trying to take on Allen. It's back to Fernandinho, and then Fernandinho takes the ball wide of Lallana and then flicks it into Yaya Toure, who tries to go on the outside. It's cleared by Lovren. Lovren a little bit shakily, really. The communication between him and Skrtel was wrong, and he turned and fired it straight out of play when there probably was a better option.
Yeah, is he still thinking about that penalty? But the rest of the Liverpool players got out the traps very well. They were on the front foot. I like to see players when they take the kick off, not this little diagonal ball that seemed to be coming to our game over the last 10 years, but getting the ball down, everybody getting a touch of the ball.
Good turn into Aguero inside the area. He fires the ball goalwards under pressure from Lallana, who got back to get the challenge in. It wouldn't have counted even if he'd struck the net behind Simon Mignolet, because the offside flag was up over on the far side. But that came about because Liverpool gave the ball away midway inside their own half. Dzeko pushed it through to Sergio Aguero, and Aguero very quickly was looking to try and get a shot away on target. What do you make of this rekindling of the partnership between Dzeko and Aguero? You can answer that in a second, because Silva has broke away and he's got the wrong side of Henderson here. He's moved towards the edge of the area, passed it into Aguero. He gives it back to Yaya Toure, and then they try to build midway inside the Liverpool half once again, but Liverpool win possession. This is Skrtel being pressed really high up the pitch by City here, and they've made mistakes on a couple of occasions, Liverpool, and given the ball away again. Yaya Toure out wide left, finding Aguero trying to cut in past Emre Can with a tackle in, and now Markovic tries to keep it in play, can't do so, and it goes out and away for a throw on this near side.
Yeah, I'm pleased that Pellegrini's put Aguero and Dzeko up front again, Sam, because they didn't really have that opportunity in midweek to kind of get the partnership going. We've seen that just very early on in this game, the two players interacting with each other, and Aguero getting a half a chance, but he was offside. But I think it works. I was maybe expecting Wilfred Boney to start the game today, get his first start in a Manchester City shirt, but unfortunately it hasn't been the case. But these two guys are tried and tested.
It shocked me a little bit, to be fair. £25 million on a new striker that you want to sign because you can play in the Champions League. He didn't come on until the second half of the game against Barcelona, and they've gone with Dzeko and Aguero in the last three games now. Come back together again against Manchester City, and of course that worked out for them well. Aguero and Dzeko on the score sheet that day. 0-0 here between Liverpool and Manchester City on TalkSport. The ball on halfway over on the far side with Samir Nasri, who's a good 2 or 3 yards in from the far touchline, and he's won a throw-in. Zabaleta will take it. Manchester City hoping that they can close the gap to 2 points on Chelsea today with a victory here. Here is Henderson, square to Can. Can just moves the ball out towards this side. The surface is just gruff and horrible and bare, and looks like it's been played on 3 times a week for the last 7 or 8 weeks and has never been watered. That isn't the case, and Liverpool do have the big heat lamps to treat the pitch, but for whatever reason, maybe it's the structure of the stand, the air's just not got in, and it's been incredibly lacking in greenery right down the central portion of the pitch, and especially away to our left in front of the Kop, where it's almost like sand in front of the goal that Simon Mignolet is defending. 0-0, ball out of play over on the far side, and it's with Zabaleta. And Mickey, Liverpool's major asset since their upturn has been the pace in forward areas, the improvement, which I suppose led to Sterling leading the line in December against Manchester United, and City don't like that pace and that quick, tricky movement, do they?
Well, I think when you look at it, and you look at the size of Raheem Sterling, should it really work with him playing up there on his own? Well, yes, it does, because of his pace, and he causes such a threat in behind, and because of his young enthusiasticness, he does like to get on the ball, and he does like to get forward and break forward, which is fantastic on a Liverpool perspective. But Coutinho is a man that they need to get on the ball as much as he possibly can, because he's in a vein of form at the minute, which is absolutely fantastic. And Man City, the way that they've started this game, Sam, as well, the two midfield players who we criticised in midweek, they're on the front foot. We've got two sides who want to get the ball down, but they want to get in behind the back five and obviously the back four of Man City, and that's great from our point of view, because we know that we're going to get opportunities on goal, and we've got quality on show also.
0-0 score, and not much has happened so far. The two teams just sort of seeing how each other are panning out, just testing each other, testing the water. Here's Joe Allen just left of the centre circle, pushing the ball square into Henderson. Henderson faced up by Yaya Toure, back in the team today after missing out on Tuesday against Barcelona because of suspension. He will be back for the second leg. The ball is wide towards the right-hand side to Emre Can. Can up towards halfway and just bamboozles himself really before giving the ball away to Kolarov, who's being hounded by Markovic, and then into Silva. The ball comes midway inside the Liverpool half. Across comes Can, reverting back to that role in the back three today after playing in midfield in midweek, and slides the ball out of play on this near side and away for a throw-in to Manchester City. It's Liverpool 0, Manchester City 0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports, where you can watch all 7 Sky Sports channels anywhere you like with Sky Go on your mobile, laptop or tablet. Here's Yaya Toure, 10 yards inside his own half, clipping the ball down the left side, looking for Dzeko. It's headed away by Skrtel, now picked up by Yaya Toure again, who's really got the bit between his teeth in the early exchanges here. We play just over 6.5 minutes. It's with Kolarov wide left, ball into the area, comes off of Skrtel and clears, back to Yaya Toure, who strikes, and he wildly swipes the ball, and it flicks out towards the far side, the right, and Zabaleta, though, has retrieved it for City, and keeps them on the front foot. They're deep inside in Liverpool territory here, and it's a good ball by Yaya Toure to Zabaleta, who on the overlap fires across into the box, but it was bobbling as it came through to him, really bounced up high, I think off of the surface, and he couldn't really keep that down and fizz across where he wanted to through the 6-yard area.
Super play from Man City there as well, though, just keeping nice possession, controlling the ball down this left hand side. What's interesting is Sergio Aguero. I know he's on the right hand side now, Sam, but a couple of times it's like the Thierry Henry position. He drifts over to this left-hand side, and David Silva, he's the one who floats into a central area. But wonderful play from Man City.
That was great work by Allen, then Coutinho onto Lallana, sprinting through between 2 central defenders and tries to poke it home early. And because he tried to poke it home from the edge of the box a bit too early, Adam Lallana, he didn't get the requisite power. Kolarov and Eloquim Mangala caught him in a bit of a sandwich. He was forced into the shot, and when he did execute it, it didn't trouble Joe Hart. 0-0.
I always think about, when you're chopping and changing your 2 centre-halves all of the time, where's that communication? And that's where Lallana punished them just then. Fantastic play from Liverpool.
Great ball by Coutinho, but it started with Joe Allen, and Coutinho has sent Sterling away down the left-hand side here, cutting in on his right foot, goes past Kompany, who brings him down, but the referee says play on. He's got it back again. Reverse pass down the left channel into Coutinho. Coutinho across the 6-yard box into the chest of Lallana. Bounces out to the far touchline, and it's retrieved by the Brazilian again. Coutinho attempted a cross here for Liverpool. Low in towards the near post. He's onside, and he scored! Offside flag is up. Well, I thought for a second there Lallana had turned that beautifully into the top of the net at the near post, and he was going to be allowed to play on, but the referee eventually, after consultation with his linesman, ruled it out.
Well, he wasn't to know, Adam Lallana, and what an absolutely incredible finish.
Brilliant finish.
From the angle he was at as well there, just zips the ball into the area. When it comes to Lallana in the box, I think he's probably a yard off. Very, very close, I must admit, but he is offside. He is offside. If you look at the green line, Sam, but what a finish from Lallana.
Just about. The way
that the game started has just been very, very frantic.
Pablo Zabaleta would have been panicking a little bit, I think, when he saw that ball turned into the net. They've won it high up the pitch again here, Liverpool. Mangala struggling with Sterling. It's picked up by Silva on halfway. The referee has allowed play to continue despite a bit of wrestling, and Lallana straight in on Kompany as he attempts to clear from the edge of his D. He does manage to get it up to halfway, and here come Manchester City. 0-0 the score. You're listening to TalkSport. 10 minutes gone. Across comes Lovren, sliding in beautifully. Times his challenge well, and he kicks it past Dzeko and out for a throw-in over on the far touchline. 0-0 on TalkSport. The first of 3 live commentaries. That's a mistake by Fernandinho. He's given the ball to Coutinho, who's robbed it off of Kompany, and it's given to Sterling. On the far side, the left is Henderson. Not the best ball by Sterling, but he's on the edge of the area here as he shoots. Henderson, what a goal that is! It's a fantastic finish from the Liverpool captain. What a super strike from Jordan Henderson. The Liverpool players jump all over one another and run to the bench and celebrate in front of Brendan Rodgers. It was an excellent finish from the edge of the area. He took it on his right foot and he cracked it from 25 yards into the far corner past a flailing Joe Hart, and Liverpool have the lead. But it came about because of Fernandinho's mistake and Kompany's missed kick on halfway, which led to eventually Coutinho feeding Sterling, who fed Henderson, who found the net in ruthless style.
Well, you can just hear the atmosphere now in Anfield, which is absolutely electric. And you're right, Sam. Fernandinho, he's in the right back position, and he tries to play a ball into into Vincent Kompany. Why he does that, I do not know. He puts him under pressure. Coutinho's there. He makes the challenge. It's half-hearted from Kompany. But Jordan Henderson picks that ball up from Raheem Sterling. I actually thought the ball was a little bit too far behind him, but he just cuts it back onto his right foot. And what a finish. He gave Joe Hart absolutely no chance in that Man City goal. Right into the top left-hand corner. 1-0 Liverpool. Superb start to this game, by the way.
It was a fabulous finish from Jordan Henderson, the Liverpool captain. And he's come up with a Steven Gerrard moment there. That was reminiscent of the man who's departing for LA Galaxy. He has taken the responsibility on. He wants to be the main man in a Liverpool shirt. And, he's delivered today. 1-0 Liverpool lead. You're listening to TalkSport, live here at Anfield, where Liverpool lead by 1-0. And it's Jordan Henderson who scored the opening goal after just 11 minutes of the match. And it was a mistake by Kompany and Fernandinho which led to it. Kompany's made another mistake here, and he's given the ball to Coutinho, 10 yards from the edge of the D. City have got back and mopped it up. Fernandinho got his captain out of trouble, and now they come on the counter-attack. Aguero running down the left, hesitation from Mignolet. And he's hit the post. Well, that was hesitation from Mignolet. He was coming and then he stopped midway through. He was caught in no man's land. Aguero took the shot early after one straight ball down the left channel. He sent it wide of the goalkeeper but hit the foot of the post.
Aguero's done absolutely brilliant, and this is something that they didn't do in midweek, spinning in behind the back four, the defence who they're playing against. That's what they've just done there. Aguero, just a simple run, drops his shoulder, gets down the side. The ball just couldn't lay down for him, but what a strike from Aguero with his left foot there. Hits the post, lets Liverpool off lightly by hitting the post, but it was skirtled down the side. He knows he's got the better of him with the pace, but what a start to this game from both sides. But Vincent Kompany, just before that Aguero opportunity, you've got to do the simple things right. Just a simple pass, have a touch, compose yourself, played into the midfield area. He's doing things first time. Sterling picked it up. They could have been under pressure themselves again, Sam.
Well, he hasn't looked great since coming back from injury, Vincent Kompany. He's definitely not back to his best, that is for sure. It's like
they've rushed him back, and I don't understand why they're doing that, because they've got other centre-halves. They've got quality players.
Here is Aguero exchanging passes with Nasri, deep inside Liverpool territory. It comes off the back of Lovren. It doesn't go out for a corner, actually, because Skirtle's recovered it and hacked it clear. Then Moreno's given the ball away midway inside his own territory, almost to Yaya Toure, definitely did to Fernandinho, and Fernandinho has got them moving once again. Yaya Toure flicks it wide right onto Nasri. Further down the right side is Aguero, and that's another unconvincing clearance by Liverpool, and Aguero has given it to Silva inside the area, and Lovren stands firm this time and then almost stands on the ball, and then before shifting it to Moreno. And again, Liverpool just trying a little bit too fiddly to play their way out of trouble here, and then causing themselves grief by giving it away to Aguero, who's found Yaya Toure, right angle of the penalty area, holding the ball up in front of Henderson. He nudges the ball back to Fernandinho, and now Mangalar's got it inside the centre circle, and he's rushed by 2 or 3 Liverpool red shirts. He went into a panic, gave the ball to Joe Hart, and Joe Hart kicked out of play on this near side. Well, I tell you what, it's been an exciting first 15 minutes to the game, but both these two teams just a little bit nervous too, I think.
Yeah, they're making individual mistakes, both sides. Lovren there, a little bit panicky, and when the crowd get on his back a little bit, doesn't know what to do with it. Sometimes the old-fashioned way is the best way, Sam. When you're under pressure, just clear your lines, get it up there, 60, 70 yards away from your goal.
If in doubt, Dayan, just put it where you put that penalty. Yeah. Here is Silva inside the centre circle, fouled by Markovic. There is a problem for Adam Lallana inside the Manchester City half, and he's looking as if he needs a bit of treatment, and Joe Hart's come rushing out of his goal just to make sure that Lallana is okay. He's now retreating, actually, because he thinks that Lallana's going to get back to his feet, but he doesn't look comfortable, and Mark Clattenburger's just come over just to see if there's an issue. It will remain to see how the effects of Thursday night affect Liverpool, I think, because Slaven Bilic was saying after the game that, and you could see it, they were fading Liverpool as the game and extra time went on, and they've started fast here, but they've got to make sure that they don't blow themselves out in the first half an hour of the game. Well,
the good thing about it is starting fast and having something to hold on to, Sam, which is exactly what they've got now after that wonder strike from Jordan Henderson. They can play this game at their own pace the further the game goes on, because Man City are the ones who are going to have to come up with the answers. Well, at the minute, Aguero's obviously hit the post. He looks the biggest threat. Dzeko, I don't think we've actually mentioned his name in the commentary so far, other than the combination between the two players up front. But he's got to get into the game a little bit more. I always talk about the aerial threat and the strength that he's got. No, when the ball does go up to Dzeko, he's the one who's got to hold it up. He's got to bring Yaya Toure into play. He's got to bring David Silva, Sami Nasri. If he doesn't, Man City can't play those combined football, the little passes that they need to play. And at the minute, Liverpool are the ones who are giving the ball away and giving them a chance to do that.
It's Liverpool 1, Manchester City 0. You're listening to TalkSport. The ball picked up on halfway by Yaya Toure, sprays a pass out towards this near touchline, but it's too heavy and too far in front of Zabaleta, and it goes out of play and away for a throw in deep inside their own territory. Liverpool 1, Manchester City 0. And City may have dropped points recently and suffered defeat on Tuesday night, but they have actually lost only 2 of their last 17 games, and that was against Arsenal at the Etihad and at Barcelona in midweek. Liverpool's last defeat in the Premier League was against Manchester United in December, and they've got them again in the not too distant future. But that is here. Here is Dzeko on the far side, the right, as City trying to claw themselves back into the game. The prize for them, the carrot for them, is to close the gap on Chelsea to 2 points, with Chelsea playing in the Capital One Cup final live on TalkSport a little bit later on. By the way, the only place you'll hear the full 90 minutes of the Capital One Cup final is here in full on TalkSport. And we've also got Arsenal against Everton, which kicks off at 2:05. And this game first, of course. This is a huge match between two of the teams that actually were contesting the title last season. There was I think you were here last year, weren't you, for the fabulous 3-2 game when Coutinho scored right at the end. It was a fantastic match, that one. It's the same day as another huge match, and we're all dotted around the country. Here is Fernandinho into Aguero, out to the wide right position where it's collected by Zabaleta. He chips it down the right, looking for Aguero to run. He tries to get on the end of it, but Lovren goes across and snuffs out the attack, and it's out of play and away for a throw-in deep inside the Liverpool half. Manchester City on the attack here. Nasri scoops the ball over the top, looking for Zabaleta, who nods the ball on, then runs into the right channel, bounces the ball out of play, actually. Accusation of handball from Skrtel as he went past him. But Skrtel's not happy with Emre Can. He's saying to him, I need you to get closer to me and just push out a little bit quicker. I thought Emre Can actually was one of those who really tired towards the end of the game against Besiktas.
He's not really got over the halfway line too much in this game, Sam, either. And, you know, Skrtel's just had a little go on there. I think when you play with 3 centre-halves, it's easy for 2 of them to spread wide, but when, you know, you're defending there, which Skrtel did very well against Zabaleta.
Great from Markovic to take the ball away from Kolarov. First time ball into the area, which is towards Sterling. A slip by Company once again. This time Fernandinho is back there to help him out. And then it's with Henderson on halfway, hooking it over his head, hoping for Lallana to chase down the right channel. It's too hefty, and it goes through to the green-booted and black-clad Joe Hart away to our right-hand side. Got a bit of criticism, didn't he, after that game against Barcelona in midweek. Pellegrini stuck up for him. And my abiding memory from that game was him saving the penalty. And if he hadn't have saved that penalty, and let's just say he'd done enough to put Messi off the rebound, then they would be in a much greater peril than they are at the moment. A little bit of indecision again by Lovren and Mignolet. Mignolet was called to come by Lovren. Lovren wasn't going to chase that ball into the box, and Dzeko was putting pressure at the final moments and almost caused Liverpool grief.
Criticism and maybe came, Sam, when he came out to Dani Alves, and he tried to lob him when he hit the crossbar, but he had no chance with the goals, basically. You know, they were very close to him anyway, weren't they? I mean, you've just got to try and get your body on the line, but I would have more criticised the 2 centre-halves, because they're the ones who lost the players in the first place, which was Luis Suarez.
Company was guilty on that day as well. Here is Sterling down the left-hand side, trying to dart into the edge of the area. This time Coutinho is engaged by Company, and Company puts it out in the way for a throw-in, despite appealing that it came off the Brazilian last, and it's away for a throw-in with a level with the edge of the penalty area. And that Company mistake on Tuesday night against Barcelona obviously was highlighted. He's made one here today. When are you, as the manager, brave enough to take your captain out the firing line?
Well, it's a big call, isn't it? I mean, over the last 3-4 seasons, he has been arguably the best centre-half in the Premier League. There's no question about that. But I think when people start making mistakes on a regular basis, week in, week out, then yeah, you've got to look at it. But Dimichelis, Mangala, are they playing any better?
Here's Lallana for Liverpool, who lead by a goal to nil. Moving into the left edge of the area, trying to take on Zabaleta. Comes in on his right foot, makes some space for the shot. When he did get the shot away, after having actually options left and right, it went over the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick.
Liverpool fans must be relishing in what they're seeing right now, in the way that Liverpool are playing and the way that they counter-attack and get that ball forward as quick as they possibly can. And if I dare say it, this is what Manchester United are trying to do, Sam. And I was at the game yesterday, and their play is so slow, their build-up. But Liverpool, they get on the front foot, they use the pace, and sometimes they just put it into space, they put it into areas for players to run onto. You know, it all can't be pretty all the time, but it's working for them. They've been fantastic.
And they lead by a goal to nil. Jordan Henderson's goal after 11 minutes, separating these two teams. Oh, that's a mistake by Emre Can. Came out of defence with the ball. It bobbled up in front of him and he landed on it and then fell over, and City have regained possession here. Here's Aguero, midway inside Liverpool territory. A little reverse pass looking for Nasri. Read well by Skirtle. Excellent ball into Coutinho. And Coutinho's turn is elegant. And he takes it away from Zabaleta and wide to the Liverpool left. And then fizzes a ball into Sterling, who's in the left channel, approaching the area. He goes outside it and takes on Mangala. Goes one way, then the other. Bamboozles him, plays a delicious ball through the 6-yard box, and nobody in red got in there. And then when it comes through towards this right-hand side and Markovic eventually joins up, he puts it into the Anfield Road stand with a lash of a shot, which was inaccurate and wild. But what a run by Sterling. And I've got to admit, Eloquim Mangala was all at sea, didn't know whether he was going left, right or centre. He couldn't keep a pace with him, could he?
Well, it started with Coutinho. Absolutely wonderful play. A great turn on Zabaleta, but it's as if these two guys are telepathic at the moment. Coutinho and Raheem Sterling. He makes a run, but he doesn't let him down. When he makes that run, he gives them the ball down the channels. And what a ball across the area there. I mean, Man City are, you have to say, at 6s and 7s.
Yep.
The camera we've got in front of us, Sam, are panning in on Mangala because of the reason he's just all over the place. He doesn't know what he's doing at the moment. They're running them ragged, Liverpool.
Third most expensive player in Manchester City's history. Ball cleared by Hart, upfield, over halfway. 1-0 Liverpool lead here. If they get a second goal, Manchester City are in serious trouble. Here is Mangala on halfway, finding Yaya Toure, who's in the dead centre of the circle, in the middle of the pitch, out towards the left, and Kolarov onto Silva, who's just returned to a bit of goal-scoring form, finds Kolarov in the left wing position. Offside flag is up. Well, that's a little bit of an odd decision, because I think Kolarov was offside when the ball was played down the left. Dzeko was the man who was, and they switched because they knew that Dzeko would get flagged offside. I thought that was intelligent play by Manchester City.
But where's Edin Dzeko from the Newcastle game, Sam? You know, he's just not performing. Again there, you know, centre-halves are coming through the back of him. You want him challenging, you want him holding the ball up, you want him flicking things on for Aguero. It's just not happening for him at the moment. If it continues this way, I think it'll be a matter of time. Definitely in the second half, we will see Wilfred Boney.
Here are the latest odds from Betfair, TalkSport's official Sunday exclusive betting partner. Liverpool 19-20 to go on and win the game. 12-5 is the draw. Manchester City 14-5, and a £25 pre-match bet on Liverpool now can be cashed out for £40. And with Betfair you can cash out in play on single or accumulator bets to take your winnings during the match. Cash out available on selected markets. Conditions apply. Go to betfair.com. You can download the app, or you can try it today. This is TalkSport, and it's Liverpool 1, Manchester City 0 in the first of 3 live commentaries back-to-back here on TalkSport. Liverpool against Manchester City, followed by Arsenal against Everton, followed by Chelsea against Tottenham in the Capital One Cup final. The whole match live here on TalkSport. Ball forward towards the edge of the Liverpool penalty area after Liverpool gift possession to Manchester City. They've won it back again though through to Coutinho. Coutinho's given it to Zabaleta, and Manchester City are back in play now in those light blue shirts, shooting from right to left towards the Kop in the first half. And Yaya Toure back in the team, finding Silva, then on to Aguero, 5 yards outside the box, cutting inside and getting onto his left foot, feeding Dzeko against the goalkeeper. Brilliant football, excellent finish. It's 1-1. Incisive, quick and sharp. Yaya Toure on halfway up to Aguero. He dazzled and cut in past 2 Liverpool red shirts. A beautiful reverse pass into the box for Dzeko, who drew the goalkeeper, and with one touch steered it past him to level up proceeding. It's 1-1.
And there's the understanding between the two centre forwards. Great play from Yaya Toure. Plays a wonderful ball up to David Silva, who gets himself turned. Great first touch from him. Plays it into Sergio Aguero. Again, just takes 3 or 4 players out of position there, but what's the defending? What's happening there? Emre Can just switching off there, but it's Dzeko just spins off there. Oh, it's a wonderful finish from him, you have to say that, but the defending, Emre Can's got to have a look at it. He's not playing offside, he's just standing there, he's waiting for a reaction from Skrtel. It doesn't come, and when he reacts himself, it's just too late. You have to say Man City have got themselves back into the game from wonderful finish and great play from 3 or 4 of their players. Wonderful move.
Well, do you remember that we were talking about Emre Can earlier with Martin Skrtel having a word with him, trying to say get closer to him. He looked a little bit sleepy in the first 10-15 minutes, and he was definitely sleepy there because that ball came up to Dzeko. Dzeko made a dart towards the ball, and Can, it took him about a second to react to it, and by the time he'd done that, Dzeko had gone. He got himself into the decent position that he required, and he steered the shot home. It's Liverpool 1, Manchester City 1 on TalkSport. And after such a good start from Liverpool, they'll be disappointed to have conceded that goal. They scored a cracker through Jordan Henderson after 11 minutes. But once again, these two involved in a goal fest possibly. Markovic down the right-hand side, trying to take on Kolarov, beating him, then pushed off the ball by Fernandinho. That's going to be a corner kick, is it? Well, the referee... Well, the linesman tried to give a goal kick, and the referee, I couldn't see the linesman because of where our position is here. We're high in the roof, and we actually can't see the touchline on this near side unless we sort of try to go over it.
It was a corner.
We've already lost the notes. We don't want to lose the commentators as well. And the referee had decided anyway, definitely corner right from the very start. It is the first of the game for Liverpool, who led through Henderson's goal but have been pegged back. The ball is sent into the centre by Henderson, headed away by Zabaleta, and then retrieved by Aguero, who canters over halfway, plays a lovely ball into Silva. He tries to poke the ball forward despite the attention of Joe Allen, then goes down. Allen is adjudged to have fouled him from behind. That's going to be a free kick against the Welshman on St David's Day. And Manchester City have the chance to cultivate something. Liverpool 1, Manchester City 1 on TalkSport, and we've played 27 minutes. There wasn't much in that, was there? For Silva and Allen. In fact, I don't think there was any contact.
He's gone with his wrong leg. I don't know if he's just overstretched a little bit there. He got a little tug off Joe Allen, but it was very little, to say the least. I mean, there was a couple of runs just ahead of David Silva there, but he hasn't half-started this game brightly. Him and Sergio Aguero, they're on the front foot. They're wanting to get themselves back into the game, which they've just done there with a wonderful ball through for Edin Dzeko. He's on form in the Premier League at the moment. This game is very, very tight now at 1-1.
Nasri's free kick sent short to Fernandinho, then into the area for Company, who's being mauled by Lovren, then is challenged by Raheem Sterling and loses out Vincent Kompany, and the ball comes off of the Belgian and goes out for a throw in to Liverpool inside their own territory. Bit of a waste, that free kick from Manchester City, who have got themselves back into this game. It's 1 apiece. Here is Coutinho back to Sterling. Sterling now trying to feather the ball into Moreno, but gives it away. It's now with David Silva, right side for Manchester City, jinking past Allen and into the wing position. He cuts back in. Allen with another tackle, which this time goes in his favour, and there's a clash between Sterling and Company off the ball, but they're running away with the ball at their feet here, Liverpool. They don't play the advantage though, the officials, and they put it back, and that's upset some of the Liverpool supporters. And Coutinho just looking at Mark Clattenburg as if to say, hey, we could have kept going there. Company looks to me as if he's really struggling against Raheem Sterling. They've got to find him a little bit more often, Liverpool, and haven't done that since they took the lead here. They've been pegged back, and it's 1-1. Here is Markovic to Skrtel. Skrtel across to Lovren. Lovren out to the far touchline, looking for Moreno. Moreno coming in field and giving it to Skrtel once again. Liverpool's last defeat in the Premier League was in December. Oh, that's a mistake by Company again, and it's almost run through to Moreno as the ball was played down the left side, looking for Sterling. He rolled Company, ran loose on the edge of the area, and no one reacted to the run of Moreno. Eventually Mangala got across and kicked it out on the far touchline.
What's interesting to me with Vincent Kompany, he's trying to read the game too many times, Sam. He's coming through in front of the centre forward. Now, if you play a straight or mistimed pass and it goes away from Vincent Kompany, it's like he's playing in defence on his own. There's no organisation from him. He's playing as an individual. You've got to stay alongside your centre half.
Lovren has given the ball away, and it's with Silva, then Fernandinho into Nasri. Henderson comes back and covers, get in front of the former Arsenal man, gives it to Joe Allen, and Liverpool clear upfield. And it's over Sterling's head. Mangala is deep inside his own territory, but Sterling has turned and spun and run at him, and then he's run at Joe Hart too as the ball goes back to the England goalkeeper, and he lofts it high into the air. One apiece on TalkSport. A really exciting game we've had for you in the opening half an hour. Both these two teams attacking and creating chances, and both of them already on the score sheet here. And the pitch not in great condition. Last Thursday night it was hard and bouncy, bare in patches. Brendan Rodgers, as I said pre-match here, wanted to train on it yesterday but couldn't, because he said they couldn't afford to make it any worse than it already was. Mangala stretching to keep that away from Markovic as it's played across the City back line, and then Dzeko and Markovic collide once again. The Bosnian and the Serbian going head to head on the edge of the D. Their own little Balkan conflict there. Here is Silva out to the right hand side. Referee has allowed play on. Yaya Toure into Silva, then on to Fernandinho, then Dzeko 20 yards from the edge of the area, shooting wildly, well outside of shooting range really, and it went flying off his foot and out for a goal kick after hitting the cop. Did he try and pretend that came off of someone for a corner there?
Well, the interesting thing as well is he just went down on a foul in his own half because he got challenged with his left foot. Then he gets himself up because he knows that the game hasn't stopped. He gets himself 25 yards out and has a shot with his left foot, so it's not hurting him that much, Sam, is it? And this is what gets you back up when you're a player, when you're on the field, and people going down to the ground too much. Yeah, go down to the ground if you get challenged, but it's not hurting you that much. Get on your feet, shake it off, and get on with the game.
We're struggling to score goals before last weekend. Scored against Newcastle United. Great finish. And he scored here today, Edin Dzeko. 1-1 the score on TalkSport. Liverpool and Manchester City at the top of the Barclays Premier League. Liverpool can go level on points with Arsenal ahead of their game should they win today. And Manchester City, well, they can go within 2 points of Chelsea at the top of the Barclays Premier League. Of course, there's loads of action for you on Tuesday night. Both Chelsea and Manchester City are in action on Wednesday night when we'll be live at St James's Park for Newcastle against Manchester United. And then next Saturday it's FA Cup quarter-final weekend, isn't it? I'll be at Bradford versus Reading, and we've got all the games for you, every single commentary for you from the FA Cup quarter-finals live here on TalkSport. Here's Aguero into Dzeko, 10 yards outside the area. He tries to go past Chan. He comes across this time and clears it, but Liverpool defending a little bit too deep now, and no one really getting close enough to Sterling, and the ball's come straight back through Kolarov and then Silva down the left side. He thinks he's been tripped by Chan. Referee has said play on. Silva's gone down and the referee has allowed things to continue, and Chan is cleared upfield looking for Coutinho. Zabaleta has sent it back into the Liverpool half. Silva's still not got to his feet. He's gingerly doing so now, and the Liverpool fans aren't too happy about what they deem to be his play acting. He doesn't look hurt. Here's Emre Can, right side of defence, infield to Henderson, who scored the opener with a corker. Out to Chan once again, who's over halfway now. A little back heel into Markovic. Markovic right side. Goes central into Allen. Joe Allen, the Welshman, just taking on Nasri. Into Markovic, a bit of space down this right side. Looking to flick it over the top for Lallana. Lallana's onside this time. He steered it wide. Great chance. Markovic down the right-hand side, clipped it over the top into the right channel. Lallana got free once again inside the area. He tried a shot, this time on the volley. Steered it first time towards the far post, but it was 3 yards wide. He did have an option inside the area because Sterling was bursting into the box, and if he'd squared it, it was a tap-in.
I don't think he realised how much time he had on it. He's just took it first time because he thinks he's going to get closed down, Sam, from the move that he's made. But great patient play from Liverpool again down this right-hand side. Nobody really closing them down. And when Lallana makes that move there, it's a wonderful ball into him. And we'll still be talking about it now if he does get it into the bottom right-hand corner. Unfortunately for him, he does take it first time. He's not really looking at the goal. But again, it's wonderful play from Liverpool.
Liverpool 1, Manchester City 1. You're listening to TalkSport. Henderson and Dzeko, the two players that have scored here today on Merseyside in freezing, blustery conditions. It's a little bit different to the temperature that Liverpool encountered in Istanbul on Thursday. Bright sunshine, blue sky, mild temperatures, 15 degrees. Ball on halfway with Sterling. Company giving away the foul. And Allen, who's taking it a little bit further back from where the initial offence took place, has a free kick just inside his own half. It's 1-1. Here's Skirtle. Up to Allen. Back to Skirtle again. Martin Skirtle slides the ball to the near touchline. Markovic, who haven't seen really much of until that chance that he just created for Lallana. He's got the ball now, though. Onto Lallana. Back into Lallana, who's running centrally with the ball. Into Allen. It's a good, intelligent piece of football, that, by Liverpool. Coutinho just sort of sideswipes at the ball, loses out to Nasri, and Aguero is chasing after the ball that the Frenchman has pumped into the Liverpool half, but Lovren has read that, and Mignolet will clear. That's a poor clearance by Mignolet. Kolarov's got it. Giving it to Silva. Silva square to Fernandinho, hounded by Henderson. Fernandinho sends it back towards the left. Mangala into Silva, who's in a pocket of space but surrounded by red shirts. He gives it to Kolarov, who's dispossessed by Markovic. And now Liverpool have it back again. And the turnover in possession here is ridiculous. Every time you think that the team is going to start to build 5 or 6 passes, the opposition rob possession back again. It's changed over once more. Kolarov forward towards the edge of the area, and right on the edge of the box, an inch inside his 18-yard box, the ball comes into the arms of Simon Mignolet. I thought for a second there he was going to have to try and head it because he was coming so far out of his goal.
I think he thought that as well, Sam, didn't he? We talk about both sides giving the ball away, which they are, but the intensity and the pace and the tempo of the game hasn't changed. You know, it's end to end. Both sides are trying to push forward, looking for this second goal from both sides, obviously. And I love it. The Liverpool, you talk about tiredness. They're closing down in this first half. Can they keep this up for 90 minutes? There's the big question mark. Can they do it for the whole of the game? I'm not too sure they can, but so far, the way they get on the front foot, they close down. Brendan Rodgers has obviously drilled that into his players. This is how I want you to play. This is what I want you to do. When we get the chance to get forward, let's do it. Man City with their patient football, a patient play. But they come to life when they get into that final third of the area. They get people on the ball, and with the skill and the guile that they've got, they can punish you at any given moment.
Well, Liverpool with more of their first choice defenders in the team this lunchtime. Chan and Skirtle, probably the ones that they want in that back three at the moment. Sakho's still not 100% fit. Here is Lallana cutting the ball infield, finding Markovic. Markovic into Lallana, onto Coutinho 10 yards outside the City penalty area, tries to slide it through to the edge of the D where Markovic was waiting for it, read by Kolarov and cut out. Manchester City got it back again, but Liverpool once again winning it, and Skirtle is in possession again. That goal from Enin Dzeko is only the second goal that Liverpool conceded in 7 Premier League games. Sterling adjudged to have been offside as he goes darting down the right. Mangala collides with him, and the free kick goes in Manchester City's favour. And I think the point I was articulating was that the turnover of possessions was so vast, but you're right, more than giving the ball away, maybe we should credit the fact that the teams are doing so well to try and win possession back.
And that's always, I mean, you can be as the best player on the ball, even David Silva, one of my favourite players, Sam, and if you close him down and you get 2 or 3 bodies around him and he's looking for that pass and it's not on, you panic a little bit when you're on the ball, and that's the case. What's happened with David Silva 3 or 4 times down this left hand side, he's rushed his pass. That's when you give it away. We talked about Lovren earlier on in the game giving the ball away as well. But in that central midfield area where it's nice and tight, that's what happens. Get players around each other, you will give the ball away. But you're right, the intensity of the game hasn't slowed down since the beginning of the match. It's been great. 5
minutes to go before the break. You're listening to TalkSport live at Anfield, the first of 3 live commentaries for you. We've already had 2 goals here. It's 1-1 between Liverpool and Manchester City. And Manchester City don't like coming here. They haven't won at Anfield in 11 Premier League trips. Here is Silva looking to poke the ball down the right for Nasri. Across comes Lovren, pushes it out of play. It's away for a throw-in. And Manchester City have it deep inside Liverpool territory. It's Nasri being pushed back towards halfway by Henderson. Doesn't give up for a single moment, does he? Ratting around tenaciously through the legs of Samir Nasri. Ball goes over halfway, but City have it back again with Kompany, the captain, who made a mistake for the first goal, and who his performances will be under the microscope again today. This is Fernandinho, who's also involved in that mix-up. Back to Mangala, and now on to Yaya Toure, onto Dzeko. Dzeko is offside here, and it's saved by the goalkeeper. Yaya Toure and Kolo Toure not on the same side, but involved in the same match for the first time in a while, and something that Kolo Toure was talking about in the match day programme today. Good read from the man who was involved with his brother in the Africa Cup of Nations triumph. It was a mistake by Mignolet, who skied the ball towards this near touchline, gave it back to Manchester City. Aguero has got it now, left side, offside. And now Liverpool look to break, taking the free kick quickly. Henderson towards the near touchline, finding Markovic onto Lallana, allows it to run across his body, runs diagonally into the Manchester City half. He's bundled off the ball by Vincent Kompany, and City have it back again. I mean, the game is being played at an unbelievable pace, and Kompany has switched the play out towards the left-hand side. Aguero, well, did he think he was going to be offside there? So he stopped chasing it, and the ball went out of play.
He's waved at the linesman as if to kind of be frustrated with him, but there was no flag went up, and Mark Clattenburg's, he's just blown his whistle for a throw-in for Liverpool. That was very bizarre, but great ball from, I think it was Vincent Kompany who played it out to this left-hand side, and Aguero was in acres of space if he'd got on the end of that ball, and he certainly had time to do that.
Was he coming back from an offside position?
No, he wasn't. If he was onside, the linesman never gave the offside.
I think he was offside, but I don't think the linesman gave it, and maybe Mark Clattenburg spotted it. Having a look at the replay, it does look as if he was in an offside position when he received the ball, and the ball was played to him. Here is Sterling down the left-hand side into Coutinho to Moreno back into Coutinho looking to size up a shot from 25 yards, too close to the goalkeeper, and straight down the throat of Joe Hart, and it remains 1-1 with 3 minutes to go before the break. We've had goals in meetings between these two before. There was an emotional Anfield victory for Liverpool last season, but Manchester City have scored at least twice in each of their last 6 Premier League matches against Liverpool. And when you think their record is so bad, that shows you the sort of encounters we've had with them over the years. This is Henderson helping it forward into Coutinho. Lovely touch into Sterling. Sterling tried to nudge it back towards Coutinho. I think the offside flag had gone up on this near touchline, but City have got it anyway, and Yaya Toure has shifted it out to the wide right position, looking for Sergio Aguero. He finds Zabaleta looking to try and poke it back into Yaya Toure, who looks for the return ball into Zabaleta, who goes down rather searchingly for a penalty kick he's not going to get, and Simon Mignolet in that purple shirt gobbles the ball up inside the 6-yard area. Good first half we've had here. And remember, there are 2 more matches to come, as well as the second half from Anfield, live on TalkSport on this fantastic Sunday of action. And Wednesday night we've got live commentary of Newcastle, Manchester United. Loads of stuff on Tuesday for you as well. And next week it's the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Here is Coutinho. Oh, he's just overrun the ball a little bit there, but then dived in brilliantly to keep hold of possession, and Joe Allen's won it back as well. And that's a good turn by Coutinho away from Fernandinho. Lovely little flick between his own legs, and it's out to the left, and Sterling now approaching the area, cuts it on his right foot, then goes back outside on his left, gets to the dead ball line, tries to pull it back across. It comes off with Zabaleta and out for a corner.
I love the intensity, the way Liverpool have started to play in this game. Adam Lallana's had a fantastic first half, and Sterling, and Coutinho down that left-hand side, but Lallana, he deserved a goal with that opportunity they had, the way that he's pressed forward, he's picked the ball up, he's made things happen for his side. But they've been absolutely outstanding, Liverpool. I mean, the intensity that they're playing at, considering that they have been away Thursday, Sam, has been absolutely terrific. Credit the players and credit the manager for getting them prepared like this.
Here's Allen with the corner from the far side. Not a great delivery by the Welshman, and it's headed straight out by Zabaleta towards the far touchline, and Liverpool have to start again from halfway. Back to Mignolet, who kicks it straight down the middle of the pitch. Sterling chasing, Hart comes out of his area, and his clearance isn't the best, and it goes right into drops on top of the Liverpool bench, and I think actually it drops on top of Ricky Lambert's head over on that far touchline. It's Liverpool 1, Manchester City 1. You're listening to TalkSport. And Kevin Friend, who's the 4th official here today, who was very friendly to Liverpool last Sunday at Southampton, is about to add 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. Here's Lallana, little back heel, beautiful football into Sterling, can't get his shot away first time, does second time. Joe Hart goes down and gets it. And it was brilliant football. Down the left, the ball was played to Lallana, little back heel, he was onside, he saw Raheem Sterling arriving. Sterling maybe could have hit that first time, didn't. went round in circles past the defence and then got the shot away, and when he did, it was a little bit weak and it was easily saved by Joe Hart. But some of the football from Liverpool has been sensational.
They've been outstanding this first half. They really have. And Man City haven't been too far behind them, but I just look at the way they're closing down. Joe Allen this time as well. I mean, Adam Lallana, what an amazing flick that was. I mean, if that goes in the back of the net, we're applauding from this gantry, Sam. That's how good it was. Wonderful play. It's either down the right-hand side, the left-hand side. Man City, when they push forward, haven't got answers at the minute.
Zabaleta onto Yaya Toure. He's 25 yards from goal, and he's pushed it into the right wing position. Zabaleta and Silva have vacated that, and it goes straight out of play, and that was wayward from the Manchester City captain, and that's the half-time whistle. Well, both these two teams suffered European heartache in midweek, but we've had enough to get our hearts fluttering at Anfield already this afternoon. Jordan Henderson's wonder strike started things off after 11 minutes. Great football from City to get themselves back into it, with Edin Dzeko's goal after 25 minutes, and I tell you what, Liverpool could have had a couple more after playing what was some delicious football at times, Sags, but at the break it is Liverpool 1, Manchester City 1.
Mickey, just a very quick word, Mickey, with you at the moment as well. The ambitions then of Liverpool to go on and win it.
Thanks, Sags. Yeah, welcome back to Anfield. Grey and overcast overhead. The wind whipping off the Mersey. And Liverpool hoping that they can put some pressure on Manchester City and others in the top four. They started this game incredibly brightly. They'll have to maintain that intensity in the second half, despite the fact that they've arrived back at John Lennon Airport at 5 o'clock on Friday morning. I was just talking to Ronnie Whelan, and he was telling me that he got to bed, and he travelled back with the Liverpool team. He got to bed, he lives in Southport, at 5:45.
Wow.
So imagine the players were doing a relatively similar journey to wherever they live in and around the Merseyside area. They would have got to bed about 6 o'clock on Friday morning, and then at 12 o'clock midday on Sunday they're kicking off in a massive match against Manchester City. The recovery and recuperation techniques that Liverpool must have used in order to do that, I mean, I don't know what they would have been, but so far they seem to have worked.
Yeah.
Are you a little concerned that as the game goes on, it might start to have an effect on them?
Well, only time's going to tell, Sam. You said late in the game that you felt that few of the players looked very tired, and that might be the case here. So Brennan's got to use his substitutions very wisely as well. But for 45 minutes, talk about intensity, front foot, I thought they were absolutely outstanding in that first half. Some great performances as well. Coutinho, Raheem Sterling, Jordan Henderson, Alan Lallana, the players that you want to be performing well, because they're the ones who are obviously going to try and maybe stick the ball in the back of the net. They've had a wonder goal from Jordan Henderson. It was a fantastic move as well. But how did these players recoup themselves? Was it just rest? Did Brendan bring them in? Did they just have a little five-a-side, or did they have massages and go for a walk?
No training, apparently.
Exactly, yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, at this point of the season, the players are fit enough. It's just your preparation of who you've got coming up and who you're going to be playing against.
The City finally have come out for the second half, and we're back underway. And Liverpool's shooting from right to left in this second 45 in red shirts, red shorts, red socks, and City in light blue. And here's Dzeko immediately on the front foot, trying to give the ball to Silva. Silva does well to take it past Allen. Right angle of the Liverpool penalty area, attacking the Anfield Road end. City come forward with Zabaleta from Nasri's pass in towards Aguero. First time header hits the stanchion. Great chance to put themselves in front here. Fast start for Manchester City. Zabaleta's cross eventually to the edge of the 6-yard box. Aguero rose, got the header in between Skirtle and Emre Can, but he headed over the top of the crossbar.
Well, they came out the dressing room late, but they started the second half a lot brighter than what Liverpool did, because it was a nice move from City down this right-hand side, very patient play. Aguero should score. It's nice little ball into the area there. He gets himself up above the defenders. He's got to stick that in the back of the net with the quality that he's got.
The first chance of the second half going to Manchester City, and Liverpool ended the first half a lot better. But the second half, City come out all guns blazing, and they're coming forward again here with Yaya Toure. I'll run through the 2-11s for you in just a second. Liverpool with Mignolet in goal, back three of Chan, Skirtle and Dejan Lovren. The right wing back is Markovic, who couldn't play in Europe because of a European suspension. He's got Henderson, Allen and Coutinho with him. Lallana in behind Sterling, and the left wing back is Alberto Moreno. Here come Manchester City, though, with Aguero taking on Lovren. Good, well-timed challenge by Lovren. Pokes it out towards the near touchline, midway inside Liverpool territory. Then further on, progressing is Nasri into Aguero once again. Tries to thrust it through into the path of David Silva, and it's away by Henderson and out towards this near touchline and out for a Manchester City throw. They've got Joe Hart in goal, a back four of Zabaleta, Kompany, Mangala and Kolarov. Then a midfield quartet of Nasri, Fernandinho, Yaya Toure and David Silva, and then up front it's Dzeko and Aguero. Ball out of play on the near touchline. City with a throw. Halfway inside Liverpool territory is Aguero, then back to Fernandinho, slides it down the right for Nasri. Nasri's coming back from an offside position.
It's lazy. That's lazy from Samir Nasri. You've got build-up play there, and I've been disappointed with Samir Nasri. He's got to give a little bit more to this Man City side. We saw James Milner later on in that midweek game when he goes out to the right-hand side. We know he's not going to try and take full-backs on every single time, but you've got to show some endeavour, some effort. And at the moment he's just not shown enough for me, and I think it will be a matter of time before you do get Milner on the field. Fernandinho
took a little whack after a collision with Coutinho just left of the centre circle. Ball goes all the way back to Joe Hart and he clears upfield, and it's left by Chan and into the arms of Mignolet. 3 minutes gone, second half. Liverpool are the league's form team. No one has a better record than them over the past 10 matches, 7 wins, 3 draws. They may be out of the Europa League, but they have a home quarter-final of the FA Cup next weekend. And if they can win here today, they have designs on the top 4. Here is Lallana approaching the area. A little bit of space to run into, but he runs into Kompany. And Kompany's well-timed challenge gets it clear for Manchester City. One back by Joe Allen, who's really growing, I think, over the last few weeks in a Liverpool shirt. Infield it goes to Henderson. Henderson darting forward behind Coutinho, but gets it back off of Nasri. Then tries to shift it left and gives it to Zabaleta. And eventually Manchester City take one of the gifts of possession that Liverpool have given them, and they kick clear over halfway.
Lallana had the opportunity and he let it go twice. It was a nice move again from Liverpool. Jordan Henderson getting himself on the half turn in that central area, just played a ball into Adam Lallana, and we know he's got a great strike with both feet. He had a couple of opportunities to either chop it onto his right foot and just get his shot away, and he didn't do it.
There's David Silva trying to thread the ball through to Edin Dzeko, and it's collected by the goalkeeper and thrown forward over the right-hand side to Emre Can. Can now coming forward, and Liverpool looking to respond. It's you have a go, we have a go here at Anfield in the Barclays Premier League, where it's Liverpool 1, Manchester City 1 on TalkSport. The ball outside the Manchester City penalty area, and Markovic trying to attack it, goes round Kolarov. Kolarov does well. I think it's only his 5th start in 20 Premier League games for Kolarov. He hasn't been playing too often, but he'll get an opportunity now in Europe with Clichy being suspended, and he's got the opportunity today. Here's Coutinho down the left-hand side for Alberto Moreno, approaching the edge of the area, slides it into Coutinho, tries to help it on to Sterling. It just wasn't purposeful enough with a touch. Kompany nipped in and managed to clear on the edge of the box before it could reach the England international. Good chance for Liverpool that.
Could have taken it himself. Coutinho was very honest and tried to play that ball in for Raheem Sterling. Should have just had a shot himself. Touch out your feet and test the goalkeeper Joe Hart.
Liverpool finding their rhythm again. 1-1 the score. Markovic from Lallana's pass into Henderson, midway inside the Manchester City half. Coutinho sweeping the ball forward on the half turn. We're very quickly trying to release Raheem Sterling. Cut out by Kompany, and it's out of play over on the far side and away for a Liverpool throw.
Just watching Brendan Rodgers there in the technical area. He's saying to Markovic, take him on, take Kolarov on. He said about the rustiness of only his 5th Premier League start. He can't be as fit as that he want to be. When you get that ball, just test him, take him on 1v1, see if you can get to the byline and cut it back for one of the strikers.
Sterling fouled here by Kompany. Kompany being spoken to by Mark Clattenburg, and well, that's been a bit of a running battle, hasn't it, Kompany and Sterling?
Look where the challenge is, though, Sam. This is what I get about Vincent Kompany. We're nearly on the centre circle. I know Raheem Sterling's the guy who he's marking, but he's an individual defender at the moment for me, and that's not what we've seen from Vincent Kompany over the last 4 or 5 seasons. He's trying to make things happen from central defence, and you just can't do that.
Here's Lallana on the Liverpool right, exchanging passes with Markovic. That's a good little ball back into the Serbian. It comes back out to Lallana once again. He's still got some support from Markovic right side, but he can go into Henderson here. He finds Henderson. Now Coutinho, who comes away from Nazmi, runs to the edge of the area. Lallana's onside, ball into the box. Sterling arriving. Coutinho kind of trying to reach that but can't stretch out his right leg, and it bobbles behind and away for a goal kick. Another good intelligent piece of football from Liverpool, and so close to them carving open Manchester City.
You have to say it's a wonderful last-ditch challenge as well there, because Raheem Sterling just can't get his leg wrapped around it. But it's Lallana, it's Coutinho, and it's just a little bit behind him. Zabaleta, I don't know if he just puts Sterling off a little bit there with his backswing. You have to say that he does a little bit, and I'm going to put that down to good defending. I'm not saying it's a poor finish from Sterling, because I think, again, it's wonderful play from Liverpool. Man City started the brighter in the first couple of minutes with that chance from Aguero, but since then it's been Liverpool again pushing forward. Their energy levels are still there at the minute, and they're the ones who were looking for this second goal.
We've played 7 minutes of the second half. It's Liverpool 1, Manchester City 1 here on TalkSport, the first of 3 live commentary games to come this Sunday afternoon. Moreno running at Kompany. Kompany comes across. Kompany, and that might have been a foul actually for Vincent Kompany, but the referees said play on. He was on the scene here. They've given the ball away though, City, and it's with Markovic just on the edge of the centre circle, finding Allen. Allen runs at the City defence. He's got space on the left for Coutinho. He gives it to Moreno instead. Low ball into the box, blocked by Zabaleta. Goes out of play and away for a throw-in. Liverpool on the front foot at the beginning of this second half again. And Manchester City struggling to contain them, and Fernandinho here has fouled Joe Allen 10 yards out, 20 yards outside the box, and it's going to be a free kick on the left-hand side for Liverpool, which means that they'll have the opportunity to create something, try and come up with a set-piece delivery which will flounder Manchester City, but that was cynical really from Fernandinho.
Well, there's a few of them. I mean, again on the replay there, how is that not a yellow card? There's a few of the City players are got to be very, very careful at the moment, because Mark Clattenburg's had a word with Vincent Kompany, and Fernandinho very fortunate to find himself not going in the ball.
Coutinho whips the free kick towards Skrtel at the far post, heads it across the face of goal. Lallana's got the ball in the net again, but the offside flag is up once again, and Lallana is denied once more. He is getting closer and closer. He looks to the heavens, he can't believe it's been chalked off, but as that ball was floated in towards Martin Skrtel, I just think he strayed as the ball was nodded back across the face of goal. He was inside the 6-yard area when he poked it home, and the offside flag was already up. I'm not sure.
I think they've been let off again. Alam Lallana now has had the ball in the back of the net twice, and both haven't counted, but that one, certainly they've got a case for that one, Sam. I thought that was onside, but Liverpool, you can just see their intent, pushing Skrtel up there, winning the ball against Edin Dzeko, who didn't really want to put his head on that. You can just sense it. Man City for me need to change.
Let's go to the Emirates and get the team news ahead of our 2:05 kickoff from Nigel Adderley.
Thank you, Sam. Per Mertesacker is dropped for Arsenal after his accident-prone performance against Monaco. Gabriel comes in for him. It's also Oxlade-Chamberlain for Welbeck. 3 changes for Everton: Stones, Besic and Barkley for Alcaraz, Gibson and Naismith.
Dzeko wrestling here at Anfield, where it's still 1-1 between Liverpool and Manchester City. Wrestling with Chan and winning a free kick for Liverpool. And they want to take it quickly here, Liverpool, and get back on the front foot again, but can't do so. The referee wanting them to take it back a few paces and start once more. But a real revved-up atmosphere inside this stadium once again. A stadium which is being completely reconfigured, actually. We were here a couple of hours before kick-off, and all the buildings around the stadium have been demolished as they look to rebuild the main stand over on the far side and increase the capacity here. Going to be a substitution in just a moment for Liverpool, but they're coming forward again. Coutinho looking to release Sterling, does the second time. The offside flag was about to go up. If he had latched onto that, he didn't in the end, and it went straight through to Joe Hart on the edge of the area. Still 1-1. So the change about to come for Manchester City, as you said, they needed to. They need some sort of steel and determination in midfield. So who do you turn to? James Milner, of course.
Yeah, it's got to be. And for me, I don't know who the substitution is going to be, but Sam Enazi's just done nothing in this game for me, Sam. Well, Liverpool are great. They're getting the ball down. They want to take quick free kicks because they know they've got Man City on the ropes right now. Every time they break forward, they look as if they can get that second goal. They're playing so well.
Markovic has just run into a big concrete wall and bounced off of Edin Dzeko and gone to ground. The referee seen the ball go out of play, and Liverpool have possession on the edge of their own penalty area with Skirtle. Then Allen, which is a rather tricky little ball back to Dejan Lovren, who's in the left fullback position, brings the ball out of defence, slides it forward. Coutinho in between two blue shirts, and he's tripped by Samir Nasri. That was cynical. That's a yellow card. Nasri apologises to Coutinho, but it's a little bit too little too late. I think the substitution is going to take place and he'll be involved in that, and it won't matter too much to him. So here is the substitution. Now they're taking off Dzeko and bringing on Milner. Are you surprised by that? Is that settling for the draw?
I think so. That really does surprise me. I mean, I don't know what system they're going to play now, whether they're going to match Liverpool up, because they're overrunning them in that midfield area. But that's just energy level, Sam. And Liverpool has shown more than what Man City are. Yaya Toure for me. When are they going to get the shackles off and let him push forward? And try and make three up front alongside Aguero and Dzeko. I know he's just left the field now, but he's holding on in midfield. He's the one who's playing the diagonal balls. Give him the ball, let him get forward. Fernandinho's the one who can sit in front of the back four, but it's just not happening for Man City at the moment.
Well, I think they've gone 4-4-1 here, with Milner going as the left midfielder, Nasri is the right midfielder, Toure and Fernandinho in the centre, and Silva's gone in behind Aguero.
Well, I actually like David Silva in that position, but taking Dzeko off, I think, was the wrong thing to move. Samir Nasri's just been poor today for me, and I think he was in midweek as well. And he was actually looking, when that board was coming across there, he was looking across to the technical area. I think he was just waiting for his number coming up.
Henderson has tried to pick out Sterling on the near touchline. Sterling was cantering towards the edge of the Manchester City box, but it was too hefty and it was cleared away by Joe Hart rather unhurriedly. And then it's put out on the far touchline by Skirtle, who was under pressure from Aguero, and City have it once more. 1-1 the score on TalkSport. Arsenal-Everton to come. You've heard the team news from Nigel Adderley. And then at 4 o'clock this afternoon, it's Chelsea and Tottenham in the Capital One Cup final, the first silverware of the season to be handed out today. Here's Nasri on the near side for Manchester City, who were behind to a Jordan Henderson goal and then got back into the match with Dzeko. They've found themselves under the cosh a bit by Liverpool throughout the course of the game. They've had spells, City. They had a brief spell right at the beginning of the second half. There have been a couple of moments in the first half where they've troubled the Liverpool defence, but Liverpool have been the better side across the piece. They just haven't found a way to nudge themselves back in front again. They came mightily close when they had a goal disallowed for Adam Lallana, who, in my opinion, I think he was onside. It will be one that is debated throughout the course of the day, and we've had a weekend again of tricky decisions by referees. Yesterday's confusion at Old Trafford only served to muddy the waters once again. They are in need of a helping hand, and I suppose the timing couldn't be worse that the International Football Association board yesterday ruled out the use of even more technology in football for yet another year.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? When we need it more than ever. Everybody's talking about players being fitter and stronger and faster than they ever have been. How can somebody come up with a decision that we don't need some kind of technology in the match, in the games at the moment, Sam? I mean, it's farcical. It really is.
1-1. Back here with Manchester City on halfway, trying to come forward with Yaya Toure, his big burly body trying to weave in past the diminutive Joe Allen. That looks like a real mismatch, doesn't it? One with 42 on the back, the other one with 24, and they are the direct inverse of each other, aren't they? Yaya Toure and Joe Allen. Here is Yaya Toure trying to go past Lallana. Infield he goes towards Fernandinho. Fernandinho strikes the ball and pushes it to the left, and Kolarov out to Milner, who helps it on into Kolarov once again, skips past Markovic into the box and then blasts his cross high and wild into the area and out on this near side and out for a throw-in.
And you can see the frustration from his teammates from Kolarov there. James Milner played a nice little 1-2 with him down the left-hand side, but he wasn't content with that. He kept running, he got himself into the 18-yard box, he was free on the edge of the box, as was Samir Nasri. Aguero had made a great run as well. When you don't have the quality, it doesn't matter where your runs are, you need that quality to stick that ball in the back of the net, and that wasn't there from Kolarov at that situation. Also, James Milner must be great to have in your squad, Sam. I mean, he's playing on the left, and he played on the right in midweek. I think he's played right back, he's played centre midfield.
He played left back when Clichy got sent off.
It's unbelievable. He doesn't harp on about it. You never hear him moaning.
But he hasn't signed a contract. Not yet, anyway. Here's Lallana. Lovely little turn inside the centre circle. Takes the ball towards the right-hand side, and it's on to Chan. Chan now striding forward for Liverpool towards the edge of the Manchester City penalty area. He pokes it wide right. Markovic is there. His cross is poor, but it will be retrieved by Coutinho on the near touchline. He's faced down by Samir Nasri. He's got Moreno in support now, and he pokes it forward instead and finds Sterling. Sterling in the left wing position, tries to give it back to him, but it's too heavy by Sterling, and then picked up by Silva, and Yaya Toure will bring it clear. 1-1 on TalkSport with Sky Sports, where you can watch all 7 Sky Sports channels anywhere you like with Sky Go on your compatible mobile, laptop or tablet. Here is Lovren forward towards Joe Allen. Allen out towards the near side, and Coutinho into Lallana. Lallana now 5 yards outside the box on the left side, looking for Coutinho. Comes Sentry, tries to find Henderson. Cleared away by Manchester City, who just about scrambled it to halfway. Now Yaya Toure picks it up, lollops forward, goes up to halfway, then goes to the left past Allen. Pushes it out to Kolarov on the far touchline in front of the dugouts. He's standing in between Pellegrini and Brendan Rodgers when he receives the ball. He guides it back to halfway and Milner, and then City go back to Mangala and build from the back. We've played 63 minutes. You're listening to TalkSport live at Anfield. And these two teams who have got designs on the top positions in the Barclays Premier League are going at it hammer and tong. Aguero to Fernandinho, clips it over the top looking for Zabaleta, too heavy, and it drifts behind and away for a goal kick.
That's good defending from Liverpool, staying with their men. Now when you've got runners like Zabaleta, loves getting forward down this right hand side, you need willing runners on the other side as well. Moreno stays with his man. What's great about Liverpool, we're talking about their impetus when they're on the ball and pushing forward, is when they do lose that ball, they get bodies around, they close down, they try and win it back high up the field as quick as they possibly can, and they've done it great today.
And that's the difference, isn't it, that they've employed in the last few weeks. Here is Sterling into the area, dancing over the ball at his toes. He tries to take on Zabaleta, runs into traffic, then gets a decent cross into the 6-yard area again. No one's there to attack it, and it goes through the penalty area, and it's picked up again by Markovic, and Liverpool remain on the attack, attacking the Kop end away to our left and being sucked in towards that goal by the support behind Joe Hart. And the rain has just come in off of the Mersey here and started to lash down in front of us. Lovely, that'll make things nicer. And actually that won't help the pitch, I don't think, at this stage.
It might make it a little bit slicker, Sam, if it keeps coming down. I mean, we've talked throughout the game about players giving the ball away. I think, you know, the reaction's what you're looking for when you do give the ball away, and certainly Liverpool have done that better than Manchester City in this game, but hasn't really stopped them trying to get it down and playing the football. Yes, of course, we've had a few bobbles, but overall, I think you have to say it's been a wonderful game of football.
Here's Markovic looking for Raheem Sterling. Mangala read that beautifully and got in front of Sterling and cleared it only as far as Henderson. First time ball into Moreno, it's inside the box. He's vying for Joe Hart with it. Joe Hart was always the favourite, coming out with his hands, and he snatched it off of the head of the former Sevilla fullback. Brilliant cross into the box though, and as Silva tries to run away with the ball, he escapes the halfway. He's surrounded by a red blanket of shirts, and then they lose possession once again. Nasri for Manchester City, 15 yards inside Liverpool territory, picked up by David Silva. Silva onto Zabaleta, across comes Lovren. Good defending by Liverpool.
I think it's time for Wilfred Boney. For me, I don't see any movement from him on the Man City substitutes bench, but if Man City want to try and go for this winning goal, I think they've got to try and get him. They've got to try and get him on the field as quick
Aguero picking Yaya Toure picking the ball up off of Aguero and moving towards the edge of the D. Tries to shoot, doesn't. Cleared away by Liverpool. Was that handball by Mangala? Referee said no. Michael Gray shaking his head, and Company brings the ball out of defence. It is 1-1. And finally poised at Anfield. Just wonder whether or not we'll see Liverpool over the next 15-20 minutes start to wane a little bit because of their exertions in midweek. They were exhausted in extra time, but at the moment it's they who are still looking the most likely as we go into the final 25 minutes of the game. Henderson who scored the opener with a sensational finish from 25 yards out, hitting the far corner past Joe Hart to put his team in front after 11 minutes. Edin Dzeko, the goal scorer for Manchester City, he's on the bench now after being replaced by James Milner. Here is Markovic into the right wing position, back to Henderson. Henderson now in a bare patch over on that far side, moves centrally, then sends it just a little bit behind Moreno, who has to retreat. Comes back infield to Joe Allen, who's in the centre circle, a couple of yards inside the Liverpool half. Then Skrtel, then Lovren, and then all the way back to Simon Mignolet. I think it's probably the best thing for Dejan Lovren to be back in the team today after missing that penalty in midweek. Here is Lallana, out to Markovic. Markovic approaching the area, looking for Lallana, but it was too close to Mangala. And City once again have the ball.
Just that final ball at the minute, Sam, from both sides. Liverpool getting themselves around the 18-yard box with great play and great pace. But that final ball into the area, there's been a couple of dink balls in there, which is never going to work for Liverpool when you've got Raheem Sterling in the box on his own. You know, you need somebody in there with height. You've got to whip it across there, try and get in between the two centre-halves and this back four of Manchester City and also Man City a couple of times down this right-hand side. The final ball when Zabaleta's run into the box just hasn't been there. The quality hasn't been there. Has those weekend games starting to take its toll on both sides right now? The week matches, I beg your pardon.
Nasri into Yaya Toure. He's 12 yards outside the Liverpool penalty area, finding Zabaleta in this right-hand side, who goes on and progresses down the touchline by giving the ball to Nasri, then looking for the return. Nasri holds it up, plays it through the legs of Lovren, then takes over and goes past Allen into the box, to the byline, tries to pull it back to the edge of the 6-yard area, and it's cleared away by Skrtel and out towards this near side. But Zabaleta wanted that more than Moreno, and he's got away from Moreno here, who's brought him down as he tried to fight for the ball, and he's given away a free kick in a dangerous position.
Yeah, good play again from Man City with Zabaleta in. I think it was the first time that they've interchanged passes with Samir Nasri. Great play from Nasri, get himself into the box, plays a wonderful ball into Zabaleta, got cleared out there, but they've got themselves a foul. Mourinho fortunate not to find himself in the book, but this is a dangerous area. David Silva over the ball. The big guns that Man City have got all came up. Liverpool have got to defend this.
Liverpool might need a bit of freshening up in the next few moments, and they might turn to Daniel Sturridge in order to do that. They have a free kick to defend first. They won't want to go behind here after dominating most of the game. 1-1 the score. Silva to take the free kick from what looks like a short hockey corner position. A hockey short corner position, just 15 yards in from the corner flag and just outside the box, but it's about 4 or 5 yards back from the dead ball line. It's swung in by Silva towards the far post, but maybe it was a little bit too close actually, and he's overhit that, and it's spiralled behind and away for a goal kick away to our right hand side. 1-1.
And the problem is when you are too close to the 18-yard box, with trying to get pace on it and whipping it into the area, it's so hard to keep it down, Sam. With that little man, that little genius David Silva over the ball, you don't expect him to overhit it like that. You know, you'd think he's going to pick one of the big guys out from Man City, but very poor cross. Like we said, when people are getting into the final third right now, the quality just hasn't been there over the last 5 or 6 minutes. Let
me give you the latest odds from Betfair, TalkSport's official Sunday exclusive betting partner. Liverpool 3-1 to go on and win the game. The draw is 19-20. Manchester City 9-4. So £25 pre-match bet on the draw can be now cashed out for 41 quid. And with Betfair, remember, you can cash out in play on single or accumulator bets to take your winnings before the end of the match. Cash out available on selected markets. Conditions apply. Go to betfair.com, download the app and try it today. This is TalkSport. And this is Dejan Lovren for Liverpool, taking the ball to halfway, 1-1. And here, Coutinho has found Adam Lallana on the cusp of the centre circle. He spread the play to the right, and Markovic tries to go past Kolarov. Those two know each other well, and Markovic will go over to him and push him into the corner, right by the corner flag, before he can eventually clear. And when he clears only as far as Emre Can. Can trying to dictate proceedings by telling Henderson what to do. Henderson takes over, and Liverpool have possession on this left-hand side with Coutinho inside City territory, looking to get the ball down the left for Moreno. Moreno faced up by Zabaleta. Zabaleta goes to make the challenge. Moreno tries to poke it past him, but Zabaleta comes off better in that particular duel and it's cleared by him as far as Nasri. Nasri and Silva then conspire to give the ball away momentarily, but they've got it back. Nasri, and then he's given it straight to Henderson. Henderson, 10 yards outside the box, tries to poke it wide left. Good tackle by Zabaleta, and it was required by him. And then Nasri once again has fumbled it and fudged it, and I think he kicked it out of play, but the referee has given a throw-in Manchester City's favour. Daniel Sturridge just getting his number 15 jersey on, getting ready to come on here for Liverpool for the final 19 minutes or so. Looks like Fernando is coming on too for Manchester City. Here is Fernandinho, who's 5 yards over halfway inside the Liverpool half. He gives it to Silva. Silva down the right channel. Beautiful ball into Aguero. Aguero trying to turn away from Skrtel. Gets a little nudge. Got to be careful there, Martin Skrtel. Comes back to Fernandinho. Fernandinho then gives it to Alex Kolarov. It was not a great pass to Yaya Toure. The referee got in the way of proceedings there, and Liverpool couldn't get it clear, but Milner's got it back, and he's 10 yards outside the box, and he's trying to work it onto his right foot. He backheels it to Yaya Toure, and then Kolarov with a low ball into the near post looking for Aguero, but it was cut out by the Liverpool defence, and now they look to escape to halfway, and they bound forward here with Coutinho and with Sterling, and that rapid pace goes surging forward, but he runs into Zabaleta, and it's excellent defending again by Zabaleta, who brings the ball clear. 1-1, and finally, boys, the game on a knife edge.
Great defender from Zabaleta. Done it 3 or 4 times in this game. 1v1 situations. Is there anybody better in the Premier League at it as a full-back? I'm not too sure. I think he's superb at it, especially when you've got somebody at pace like Coutinho or Sterling who are running at you. He just stands his ground, waits for them to make a decision, and he always seems to get the decision right. Absolutely superb. Great defender from him.
Here's Emre Can. Brilliant ball out to the right hand side, finding Markovic, who goes past Kolarov this time, then delivers across. It's Lallana. Oh, and he went for the overhead kick, but it was too much of a stretch for him, and he couldn't execute it, and inadvertently in doing so he took it off of Sterling. Ball cleared to halfway. They've got it back again, Liverpool. It's with Adam Lallana, and then to Can. That was a good chance, wasn't it, Mickey?
Oh, brilliant opportunity. No, just let it go. I mean, if Lallana sticks out in the back of the net, it's a wonder goal. It's behind him. It's a scissor kick, overhead kick. It's just, everything's just wrong about it. You know, Sterling stood there behind him. He had a great opportunity, but was there any communication?
Moreno into Coutinho. Oh, it's just too far ahead of the Brazilian as the ball's nudged into the box. It's away by Fernandinho, then back with Henderson once again. This is Liverpool's 44th game of the season. Last year they played nowhere near that amount of games over the whole course of the campaign, and we've only just got into March this time around. Here is Henderson. Sterling's made an escape towards the right hand side. Can he get on the end of this? No, because Mangala did just enough to close down Henderson. The ball then took a ricochet, didn't run true for Sterling, and it's pushed away by Manchester City. 1-1 the score. Lovren out to Alberto Moreno. Into Allen. Allen just left of the centre circle, finding Sterling, spirals away from Yaya Toure. Then on the edge of the area is Coutinho. Coutinho, right-footed, towards the far corner. Oh, he's done it again! Philippe Coutinho gives Liverpool the lead in stunning style from the right edge of the area. He caught that one beautifully. He got it onto his right foot. He curled it towards the far corner and past the dive of Joe Hart and into the net to give Liverpool the lead once more. He done it against Manchester City last season. He done it against Southampton last week. It's another corker from Coutinho, and it's Liverpool 2, Manchester City 1.
Wow, wow, wow. What an incredible goal there from my man of the match so far in this game. Coutinho has just been absolutely outstanding. First half performance, he was on the front foot, and every time he picks the ball up with a minute, there can't be many players playing better than him in the Premier League right now, Sam. And just what a goal. He picks it up on this left-hand side. You know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to try and chop it onto his right foot. That's what he does, and he just curls one past Joe Hart and gives him absolutely no chance. We're talking about Jordan Henderson's goal in the first half. That's just as good. It was just superb, and it just shows the intent. I was looking over at the technical area. Man City were just about to bring a defending midfield player on. I think they're actually going to change their mind because of that goal. Superb from Liverpool, and you have to say From the game so far, what we've seen, they deserve to be in front in this, no doubt about that.
It was a brilliant goal. It was typical Coutinho, and you know what? That's why they rested him in midweek.
What a player. What a player. You know, he's the type of player that, you know, you'd pay to come and watch. He's just, every time I see him, I did Bolton, what was it, about a month ago when they played them in the Cup, and he changed that cup tie for them with a wonder goal that night as well, and he's just got in the lock-in. You can see the fear when he's running at defenders, when he's running at players. They don't know whether he's going to go left, he's going to go right. He has turned out to be a quality signing from Brendan Rodgers and Liverpool Football Club.
Wilfred Bonney is about to come on. Fernando is going to sat back down again, and he's putting his top on. He's not going to come on.
Yeah, I saw Brian Kidd, because obviously Fernando was going to come onto the field, and Brian Kidd ran straight to the dugout, and he told Wilfred Bonney to get his shirt off, and that's been the case now. They've obviously told the fourth official to change the numbers because they're now chasing the game.
In Liverpool 2, Manchester City 1 on TalkSport, and Mignolet's got to be careful here because he's fiddling around inside his box. Lovren has been given a short pass, and there's someone behind him. He's just about cleared. Liverpool don't want to give anything away here after taking the lead. Well, across goes Milner, and he's challenged by Can. It's handball given against Emre Can, but actually he's complaining that it actually hit the top of his arm, the top of his shoulder, but the free kick has been given over on that far side. That will be contentious. Milner popped it up, and I think it came off the top of his shoulder. It's a little bit harsh, that one, but the free kick has been given, and here comes the substitution. Bonney is on, and off goes Fernandinho. So this is a more offensive lineup, and Wilfred Bonney, who's looked a little bit cumbersome and not particularly settled since he's been wearing that light blue of Manchester City, goes straight into the thick of the action, and it's a free kick by Milner from the wide left position, right-footed in towards the near post, which is headed away by Liverpool, and a little bit overcommitted here. They've got numbers going forward if Sturridge can find Sterling, but as he turns and swirls and tries to funnel the ball out towards Sterling for a counter-attack, it's blocked by a combination of Mangala and Kolarov, and Manchester City have it back again. 2-1 Liverpool lead, and we've got 12.5 minutes to go on TalkSport. Here's Silva, weaving away from Coutinho, flicking the ball over the top, looking for Bonney, away by Skrtel, collected by Aguero, keeps it alive, then shoots towards the far corner after outwitting Lovren, and it just goes an inch wide of the post. Oh, it's an excellent piece of skill. He brought that down so elegantly after the header away by Skrtel. He's at a 45-degree angle to the goal. He shifts the ball right to left, and then Lovren ends up on his backside, sliding as he tries to challenge. The shot is first time by Aguero, snapshot quick towards the far corner, and it's an inch wide of the foot of the post.
David Silva and Sergio Aguero, a wonderful play, but Lovren goes to ground in the 18-yard box. You've got to stay on your feet. When you've got somebody like Aguero, who you know he can just shoot with his left foot or his right foot, when you get in that area, stand on your feet, make him make the decision. There, he made it for him by going to ground. Wonderful play again from Aguero. Could have easily found that bottom right-hand corner and made it 2-2, and that was the problem when Liverpool took the lead in the first half. Man City then stepped it up a gear, which they're doing now. Obviously there's a reaction. They've brought Bonney onto the field. They've just got to hang on now.
And Sterling sending the ball out towards the left-hand side, looking for Sturridge. Sturridge chasing it into the left corner, but company is there, and he's got it away to Pablo Zabaleta. And we've got 10 minutes to play, and you're listening to TalkSport, where it's Liverpool 2, Manchester City 1. And here's Yaya Toure, forward to Aguero. Aguero 5 yards outside the box, shifts it on to Silva, who chases into the corner flag. He's approached by Moreno. He goes back to Zabaleta, first time cross into the box by Zabaleta, away by Lovren, and then Yaya Toure's leaning all over Coutinho, and that's going to be a free kick. Almost squashed him as he came down.
I think that was a bit of a mismatch, that one, wasn't it, from Yaya Toure and Coutinho. But what this little fella hasn't got in height and stature, Coutinho, he's certainly got it in heart. He's just been outstanding. You know, we talked about Adam Lallana in that first half having a great performance. Well, he actually done well in the second half, but Philip Coutinho in this game, my goodness, you know, he causes such a threat. The pace that he breaks, he's got one thing in mind. As soon as he picks that ball up, he's get turned. Right, okay, what have I got to do now? I've got to take on my full-back, or I've got to cut inside, and I can see where the goal is. What a finish. I mean, it's a superb finish to get his side in front.
There's going to be a substitution on that far touchline, another one. Manchester City just Thinking about bringing Frank Lampard on in the next few minutes. Sturridge winning the ball ahead of Mangala, finding Sterling, and then Lallana. Lallana should have played that ball a little bit earlier, and there's a problem here. Milner has wrestled Sterling to the floor, pulled him down, stopped the attack. Free kick has been given, and they've pulled it back after initially playing the advantage, but the yellow card has come out for James Milner.
Just hung on to him. Oh, there was a challenge there, but then obviously Raheem Sterling's trying to get back to his feet, and James Milner's just hung on to him and kept him on the ground. You can just see there, the both players get together, and Milner kind of wrestles him to the ground.
Yes. That's a rugby tackle from James Milner. Another change, and off comes Alberto Moreno, and on comes Kolo Touré. And Kolo Touré and Yaya Touré are on the pitch against one another. And how's that going to change the formation here? Well, we'll see. Maybe Chan's going to go and play at right wing back, and Markovic coming out to this left-hand side. We shall see. No, Markovic was replaced by Sturridge, wasn't it? So he's already off the pitch. So Lallana might have to go and play at left wing back. Anyway, here is Henderson. It's a shift around for Liverpool as they come forward now once again, with Sturridge trying to get in behind Mangala. Mangala pushes the ball out towards the far touchline, and then it's cleared into the air by Kolarov. Kolo Touré engages, the ball bounces to Skirtle across to Chan, and Chan clears. Yeah, Lallana is playing at left wing back, Chan at right wing back, and still the three centre halves, this time of Kolo Touré, Skirtle and Lovren, as it was in Istanbul. Interesting. Milner waited for the challenge from Lallana, and Lallana not particularly good in those sort of situations. Has been booked now as a result of that challenge, and that's the difficulty when you're playing in an unfamiliar position like that. You go in and put yourself around trying to make a mark as soon as you are shifted over into it, and you're in danger of giving away, one, a free kick, and two, getting yourself on the precipice of serious trouble with disciplinary issues. He's been booked. Silva with the free kick towards the edge of the area. Mangala was arriving, it was headed away. He's out of position now, as Manchester City could end up on the verge of a counter-attack and being subjected to some pace here, because sprinting away is Chan. Sterling's on the right-hand side. Chan is still going here. Maybe took too long to distribute. Frank Lampard has come on, by the way. Here's Coutinho towards the right-hand side, and it's picked up by Lallana. It was on for Nasri Lampard as Lallana tries to get the cross in into Allen. Allen now trying to nudge it back to Skirtle, and then it's picked up by Lovren, and Lovren sends it down the left, inviting Lallana to chase into the wing position. He's not going to get there this time. Kompany's going to mop that up, and then eventually it'll be clear via Zabaleta, then back to Kompany and upfield. Oh, that's almost a mistake by Yaya Touré. Is a mistake by Yaya Touré. Sterling profits after Henderson's good work. Coutinho on the edge of the area to finish it over the top. Missed it. I think it may well have taken a deflection on the way through. Might have been a stop from Joe Hart. No, it definitely took a deflection on the way through. That was a big chance to end Manchester City's hopes. Corner kick.
Man City have made too many mistakes today for me, and it's been in that central area. Vincent Kompany, Fernando, Yaya Touré, 4 or 5 occasions, and Liverpool have pounced on it every single time they give the ball away.
Coutinho's delivery into the box. Lovren was coming, but out came Joe Hart and firmly grabbed it before the Croat could get on the end of it, and it's cleared upfield brilliantly by Joe Hart, straight up to Aguero, onto Silva, and Raheem Sterling running back at a furious pace stops them from going any further, and the counter-attack comes again. Hart takes control, comes 10 yards outside his box to kick clear, and this is turning into a little bit of a basketball match. And has Wilfried Bony gone up with an elbow here with Adam Lallana? Well, that is the accusation. He thinks that he's gone with his head. Clattenburg's come across and indicated that it was an elbow that hit Lallana in the face.
So elbows are yellow cards this day and age. Is that the case?
I don't think it was a deliberate elbow.
Well, the thing is, I'm watching down here. We're just watching a replay there now, which didn't show. Wilfried Bony's going for that ball, and as he's going for the ball, he's looking at the player So when he does come across him, he knows exactly what he's doing with his arm. He's got his arm raised, and your momentum doesn't take you that way with your hand. I don't care if it's your wrist, your forearm or your elbow. He knew exactly what he was doing there. Mark Clattenburg had his hands in his pockets. He was reaching for his yellow card, and he pushed his arm out to the side because he knew it was an elbow. Now, is that a red card or is that a yellow card?
Another one to debate. 08717 223344. Store that in your memory banks, because Call Collingwood's on later on tonight. 6 o'clock I think it starts tonight, bearing in mind that there could be extra time and penalties in that Capital One Cup final. It could be at any time over the course of the next 8 hours. This is the first of 3 commentaries on TalkSport today. Arsenal-Everton to come at 2:05. You're only 15-20 minutes away from that, and we've had a belter of a first one for you, that's for sure. Let's hope they all live up to this sort of level. Here's Lallana trying to skip past Milner on the near side. He's been shifted out to the right wing position now. Zabaleta into Yaya Toure, who's dawdling on the ball, and he's giving it away. He's giving it to Sturridge inside the area, and he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he's steered it wide of the post by at least 2 feet.
Oh, what a chance. What a chance. And Jordan Henderson, he's done it 2 or 3 occasions against Yaya Toure. He's pinched the ball off him 25 yards out in Man City's half. He picked the ball up, he's played a wonderful ball into Daniel Sturridge. And when you get in that area there, that's the man who you want on the ball. You think he would stick into the back of the net, but Toure,
he's having a stinker.
Well, I was just about to say, I've never seen him as poor as this for a 90-minute performance. Is this on the back of not playing in midweek? Is he a little bit rusty? Or is the weather a little bit too cold for him today? I mean, this is not the Yaya Toure that we're expected to see every single week. He's one of the best players in the Premier League, arguably, but he's been very, very poor today.
Can't give the ball away on the edge of your area twice in 2 minutes, and then turn around and start moaning at everybody else. He's misplayed passes today as well, which have caused his team problems. I just wonder whether or not he's entirely fit.
I think he gets frustrated, Sam, in that position that he plays. Because you go back to last season when he scores how many goals he gets. I mean, that's Yaya Toure. That's the player that we want to see. But the manager must say to him, look, I want you just to sit in front of the back four. But the quality that this guy has got, you've got to let him loose. You've got to let him get forward. He's a match winner. He's not a holding midfield player. Here's
Lallana on the near side, 3 yards in from the touchline, taking it off of Milner this time. Back in possession here, Liverpool, with 90 seconds to go at the end of the game. Liverpool leading by 2-1. Excellent performance for Liverpool, bearing in mind their travel disruption that they had this week. Delayed getting back from Istanbul. They didn't get to bed till 6 a.m. on Friday morning after coming back. It was a 2,000-mile journey, that. And it was no sort of private plane. It was a chartered jet. It was a big old proper Airbus A320. 4-hour journey. Here's Silva from Yaya Toure's pass. Silva shoots towards the far corner, and it's 3 yards wide of the post. So Liverpool really should be credited for the way they performed today. They've just got a little instruction off of their vice-captain Skirtle today. He wore the armband in midweek. He's just gone round and said to everybody, look, just calm down, let's not gift any opportunities, let's not hand any chances to Manchester City in the final few seconds here. We've got 30 seconds of normal time to play on TalkSport, and the fourth official, Kevin Friend, is just readying his stoppage time board. Mignolet kicks clear, up over halfway. Well, if the elimination from the Europa League put pressure on Liverpool to try and rack up more points in a bid to try and finish fourth, it certainly worked. They lead here by 2-1. And a stunner from Coutinho is going to gift them all 3 points against Manchester City for a second season in a row. Ball out of play down by the corner flag. Manchester City have a throw. It's in their own half. And the Liverpool supporters just making sure that everybody knows that Kolarov is going to take this throw-in down by where it went out, which was right deep inside their own half. 3 minutes of added time at the end of the game. And the Liverpool fans want a free kick over on the far touchline, but Manchester City have been given one. And the crowd are going to play an important part in the last few minutes here, just making sure that every decision is penalised and pressurised. You OK there, Mickey?
I just thought that Joe Hart was just going to play. He's actually out of his goal at the moment. I thought he was going to play a ball right across his 18-yard box, and Daniel Sturridge had read it. He read the situation, stopped himself at the last second, and then played it into Liverpool's half. But this performance from Liverpool, you know, we talk about them being tired in midweek. They've been outstanding. To a man, absolutely first class. Brendan Rodgers will be so pleased with his players. I think the fans appreciate the way that they performed today as well against this Man City side who've caused them problems throughout the game. I think overall you have to say that the best team are going to win this game. Man City have had a couple of half chances through that man Sergio Aguero. David Silva had just had an opportunity a couple of minutes ago, that shot wide, but for me they haven't showed enough. Nasri was very poor out on this right hand side for the time that he was on the game. Fullbacks haven't got forward like they like to do for Man City. Kolarov has hardly got over the halfway line. Zabaleta once or twice down this right hand side. Yaya Toure, he's not a holding midfield player. Let him get forward. But Liverpool have got their tactics right. They've closed them down, and they've been absolutely first class. Deserve to be 2-1 in front.
City have won 6 points in the final 10 minutes of games, but they've given the ball away again here inside their own area. It's Coutinho onto Sturridge. Sturridge is beaten to it by Kolarov, and then Joe Hart is encouraged to get it kicked clear by Kolarov, and Kolarov is screaming at him to do so. And he does, and he wins the ball on the halfway line. Milner into the box, looking for Bonney. It's cleared away by Skirtle, and it's out on this near touch line.
Got to be careful.
They have got to be careful, because City have a habit of coming back and nicking things in the final few seconds of games. Liverpool about to go 11 games unbeaten in the Barclays Premier League. Here's Aguero, edge of the area, shooting poorly. Didn't catch it right at all. Might have bobbled up in front of him, but he couldn't steer it goalwards. We've got 30 seconds of added time still to play. Liverpool, this will be only their third win in 13 games in the Premier League over Manchester City. Manchester City are going to miss the chance to close the gap on Chelsea. The gap will still be 5 points, and Chelsea will have a game in hand. It's the perfect start to their cup final day, and it's a great way for Liverpool to round off a week which has been a difficult one for them. They will go level on points with Arsenal.
Listen to that. Absolutely brilliant. That's what you want to hear from your home fans, and I think they appreciate the way that Liverpool have performed today, Sam, as well. But two big things that have come out today. Chelsea will be rubbing their hands together with this defeat from Man City, and Liverpool, they haven't half sent a message out.
Onto Sterling trying to skip past Mangala, and then Jordan Henderson heads the ball out of play. That's the roar that a win gives you. Another big win for Liverpool, who are riding the crest of the wave domestically. There is no love lost. Manchester City drop points in the Premier League for the 5th time in 7 matches, and they missed the chance to go within 2 of Chelsea. Liverpool extend this marvellous unbeaten run in the Premier League and bounce back from penalty heartache to send themselves level on points with Arsenal. The pressure is on the Gunners now, and if they increase the pressure on themselves to get into that top 4 positions after elimination in midweek, boy has it worked. It was a fantastic display when you factor in the fatigue, and it's one that not only the Liverpool fans have enjoyed. Mickey Gray.
Yeah, I have to say that the best team won today by a country mile. They wanted it more than what Man City did, and it proved it with the goals that we've seen from Jordan Henderson in the first half and Philippe Coutinho, who the cameras are now on the football field. They're following him around. He was absolutely first class today, but you could have picked anybody in a Liverpool shirt. They all did their jobs to a man. The energy levels they showed were absolutely superb. Man City didn't get it right when they were pushing forward. Aguero had a couple of half chances, as did David Silva, but apart from that, they were really scrimping around that final third of the Liverpool half. But you have to say, Brendan Rodgers, credit him, the way that Liverpool are performing at the moment. They have sent a message out to the rest of the Premier League. They want to finish in this top 4, and by the way that they're playing at the moment, I can't see past them, because I was at Man United yesterday and they are nowhere near the way Liverpool are playing right now.
Well, good luck, because if the next 2 commentaries are going to live up to what we've seen here today, you have got one hell of a couple of games on your hand. 2 Raspers in the rain, ease the European pain. Liverpool beat Manchester City by 2 goals to 1.